Hey bro, so I just got done working out and I think it's now time to make a video? So anyways, here is the top ways for you to lose fat for an aesthetic body if you're a teenager. This video is specifically meant for teenagers, so if you're not a teenager you could keep on watching, but I don't know, maybe the stuff that I say might be outdated for you. So I don't know, just keep on watching. And hold on, I'll just get my laptop. Okay, let's start. So, if you guys would look at two pictures over here, let me know what's more attractive. You might realize that the one on the left may have more muscle, but the one on the right has less fat, which makes his muscle more defined, and it's overall pleasing to look at. So, what does this mean? You don't need too much muscle for you to look attractive, bro. You just need the right amount. You need the right amount in specific parts. So, for example, the 7 aesthetic muscles are the neck, the traps, the shoulders, that's 3, the chest, the abs, the lats, and there's one more, but I forgot. Did I mention abs? I think I mentioned abs, but there's one more. I'll just mention it over here. But anyways, back to our models here. You might have noticed that yes, the guy on the left has indeed more muscle, but the guy on the right has less fat, which means that he's gonna be looking attractive overall. At the same time, he put the muscles in the correct areas, which makes him have like this appealing effect. This is the term. It's called a V taper. So it's basically when you have like a V taper in your body. So yeah, that's what a V taper is. So if you get the correct muscles in the correct areas, and if you lean over, you're gonna look aesthetic, and yes, it does attract more girls. Yeah. So to get started, let's go over on what you should know. First of all, are you actually qualified for a cut? You'll know if you're qualified for a cut if you have muscles and they're already pretty flabby. The people who should avoid cutting are people who are skinny and people who are skinny fat. If you're skinny and try to cut for muscles, there will be no muscles. You'll only look like a skeleton. And if you're a guy who's trying to lean over but who's skinny fat, you're not gonna look muscular. You're just gonna look thinner with more fat. So you know what I mean? For skinny people and for skinny fat people, the goal for you is to bulk up, to gain the muscle, train hard for 4 or 5 months, but ideally a year, then cut, then you're gonna look awesome. And for the fat people out there, obese people, the number one priority for you is to lose fat. So keep on going. I know you're working towards it. Good job. Mwah. But yeah, basically, the people who should avoid cutting are skinny fat people and skinny people. Next topic. Alright? So the next topic will be to get into a caloric deficit. So what can a caloric deficit do for you? You have your body, right? And the stuff that you do day to day and your internal body heat would naturally lose calories over time. And those calories are what you call TDEE. TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. And you can calculate it on TDEE calculator on Google, just search it up. So basically, those are your maintenance calories for you to maintain your weight. Now, getting into a caloric deficit means going under your TDEE, going under your calories. What this does is it triggers your mind into basically alarming itself and saying, oh no, you're not eating the calories that you're supposed to be eating, which triggers like a fat burning process because it's basically using your fat that's inside in your body as fuel for you to keep on performing like how you used to, basically to keep you at a normal rate. So the recommended caloric deficit for cutting is around 500 to 1000 calories. 500 calories, a 500 calorie deficit is alright. A 1000 caloric deficit is pushing it. You could sustain a 500 caloric deficit for months, around 1 to 2 to 3 months, 500 caloric deficit, that's okay. You're losing about 1 pound a week. 1,000 caloric deficit is pushing it, like pushing it. And this is only recommended for people who have their macros dialed in, like actually that dialed in. And at the same time, this can't be sustained for a long period of time. 2 to 4 weeks, that's okay. That's fine. But 1 month and over is pushing it. So the action step for you is to get into a caloric deficit of around 500 to 1,000 calories. Keep on maintaining that until you reach your body fat percentage or your weight goal. The next topic is cardio. What can just running do for you? Running is great overall as like a healthy benefit, right? But at the same time, running burns calories. Now imagine you put the calories that you've burned from cardio and you plus it into your caloric deficit. So for example, if my TDEE is 5,000, right? And if I'm in a 500 caloric deficit, it would be 4 or 5. Now if I burn 400 calories in one run, my total caloric deficit would be 4,100 calories. This would boost my progress, but at the same time, I could keep on eating at the 4,500 range without needing to dropping as low as 4,100 or close to 900 calories deficit. And at the same time, cardio actually just burns fat overall. I'm not sure how effective it is at burning fat, but probably more effective than weightlifting. The last tip that I have for you, bro, is to intermittent fast. This tip is, oh my gosh, if you just knew the power of this tip, this could literally give you superpowers. What I mean by superpower is focus. It will literally make you focus more. You would get more work done. You would be able to eat more for the rest of the 2 meals that you have. So what is intermittent fasting? So there's 3 times we usually eat in a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. You skip breakfast, then you just eat a lot at lunch and dinner. So basically, the food that you were supposed to be eating at breakfast would be divided to your lunch and to dinner, which would make you feel more satiated throughout the day. Now, but I would be feeling bad at breakfast. No, you would actually be feeling more focused when you're hungry. So you see, intermittent fasting reduces your insulin levels. Your insulin is basically the stress into your body, and it spikes when you eat. So you know that feeling when you're so sleepy and you can't do anything. That's basically when your insulin spikes up because of the food that you eat. And if you eat a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of grains, it's gonna spike even more. So if you skip breakfast and work throughout breakfast, throughout the time that you would be eating, you would have increased focus and reduced insulin. How do you actually apply it though? The 16 8-hour window. You rest, you let your stomach rest for 16 hours, then you eat for 8 hours. You eat at an 8-hour window. So for example, I'm not gonna eat until 12 p.m. Then I'm gonna end my eating, my feeding around 5 p.m. or 7. So for the rest of the day, my stomach will be fasted. For 16 hours, I won't eat anything until the next day or until my next feeding session comes. That is what will make you more focused, and at the same time, it is really effective at burning fat. So, I gave you about everything that you need to start your fat loss journey. I'm serious, that's literally all you need to know. And to give you a summary, what you do is you get into a caloric deficit, you start running, and you start intermittent fasting. And that's all you need to know to get a really good body. And one last thing is the mindset. What will actually make you consistent throughout this journey? I mean, right now, what do you feel? Like, you answer me. You feel the fire in you. You feel like you want to change your life. That's why you click this video, right? You want to change your physique. Think about why. Okay, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. Get a journal and write down the title. The title should be, why do I want to lose fat? You don't think. Don't think about your answer. What you do is, you go inside. You look at your thoughts, and you see what makes you feel motivated to lose fat, right? Maybe it's to have a more attractive physique. Maybe it's to gain the respect of my friends. Maybe it's to stop the bullying. You write it all down. Write it all down. Maybe it's to look more attractive. You write it all down. And now when you have those, you have a solid understanding on why you went through this journey. Alright, what's the importance of this? But I already have it in my mind, right? What's the importance of putting it in the journal? The important thing to putting it in the journal is the next day or the next time that you won't feel motivated to stick to your goals, stick to your caloric deficit, stick to your plan, what you do is you look into that list. You look at and you visualize the things that you put. Oh, I want to be more attractive. You visualize into yourself, what would an attractive person look like? What would I look like if I was attractive? You look into it, right? What would I look like if I didn't get bullied? What would my life feel like if I got a girlfriend for my physique? But yeah, honestly, that's how you do it, right? And another important tip, it's really no, it's not optional. You actually need to do this because it would actually help you a ton. Go to Pinterest, look at aesthetic bodies or what you find attractive, paste it in your wall or anything that you could actually look at throughout the day. Put it into a Google document, then write down your reasons on why you want to lose fat, and that would actually help you. And that would help you be motivated. Just don't care what your family says. Maybe they might think you're gay or something. Hopefully not. But anyways, that's about it. I gave you all my tips. And if you want more content, you could watch this video and this video over here. Help support me. And my Gcash will be in the description if you want to send me love. And that's about it. Stay young, stay healthy. Peace, love. Please. I hope this video doesn't get cut. Please, please, please. Okay.